almost upright position, keeping both arms bent at right angles. Swing slowly and lift your forearm to vertical as you reach up with your other arm. Continue to swing slowly, dropping the racket head behind your back. Your elbow should move upwards as your shoulders roll forwards. Keep your head up, reach high and then accelerate into contact with the ball. Your other arm should drop down as you move across your body into contact. The follow-through should go down and in front of your body. For high balls hit to your backhand side, you will need to play the backhand smash. This requires that a player turns fully sideways. When stepping backwards, raise your elbow high, dropping the racket head. When your weight is fully back, push off and swing up towards the ball, turning your body into contact. After playing the shot, return to the ready position as quickly as possible. So remember, when making a forehand volley, keep the racket head up and watch the ball onto the racket. When making a backhand volley, contact with the ball is to the side. And when your opponent plays a lob, make every effort to use the forehand smash. Now it's time to think about adding some more advanced shots to your repertoire. Dink shots, drop shots, lobs, approach and passing shots will all add excitement and variation to your game. To keep your opponent guessing, you need to play smart tennis. This means using different shots to win points. Being predictable allows your opponent to easily form a winning game plan. Learn the following shots to enhance your tennis and counter whatever your opponent throws your way. Angled shots are used to take your opponent out of court. This makes it difficult to cover the open court and forces them to play a better shot than they normally would. To hit aggressive angles, use topspin and hit them short and close to the singles sideline. A dink shot is hit low over the net using touch and accuracy. It is used so that your opponent who is approaching or stationed at the net will be forced to lift the ball up. This should produce an easier reply and a chance to win the point. Lobs are shots aimed high over the net. There are basically two types of lobs: offensive, which are hit with heavy topspin, and defensive, which are hit with very little spin. The ball flight is critical in a topspin lob. To hit the ball up in the air and over your opponent's head, you will need to lean back. For more topspin, use a sharper low to high swing. To achieve a high trajectory on a lob, use backspin. Open your racket face into contact. Lobs hit without much spin start from below the level of the ball and with an open racket face. You can then lift the ball high and deep, creating a difficult shot for your opponent. Drop shots are hit just over the net. They're hit using backspin, so the ball will slow down after it has bounced. This makes it difficult for your opponent to reach the ball before the second bounce. Hit drop shots from inside the baseline to achieve maximum results. Using a forehand disguised drop shot is a very effective tactic. When making this shot, act as if you are playing a powerful topspin drive and instead quickly change to a forehand volley grip and then play a drop shot. Drop volleys are also very effective. Because they are played so close to the net, they offer very little time for an opponent to retrieve the ball. Approach shots are normal ground strokes that you follow to the net. When making an approach shot, step forward and then glide through your shot. Move forward towards the net, going into a split step when your opponent is swinging forward to hit the ball. When your opponent hits the ball short, it is the perfect time to approach the net. To get to the net quicker on the forehand side, use a running through footwork. This means placing the back foot forward first, enabling you to move through the shot without slowing down. On the backhand side, step forward and make sure you complete the shot first before opening up and running towards the net. Passing shots are played after your opponent has made an approach shot. They require accuracy and are aimed low over the net. You should play them with heavy topspin to dip the ball sharply cross-court, or with pace to beat your opponent when going down the line. So remember, hit angled shots short and close to the singles line. Lobs are hit high over the net. Drop shots are hit just over the net. Use backspin to slow the ball after the bounce. Approach when your opponent has played a weak shot. And passing shots are aimed low over the net. Once you've mastered these shots, you're well on your way to becoming an accomplished tennis player. It's now time to look at strategy in addition to technique. Tennis brings an opportunity to use your physical and mental skills. When you're able to play shots with consistency, accuracy and force, you can use more advanced tactics. This adds an extra dimension to your game and a new excitement to your play. Because the serve and return are the first shots in each point, you must learn how to use them effectively to grab the early advantage. The main objectives for the server are to produce an ace, a non-returned serve, or to force a weak return. To achieve any of these, use the flat serve and aim for the centre or sidelines. Into the body serves are also very effective. Use the slice serve to take your opponent out wide. You should then take advantage of the weak return by hitting an aggressive shot to the open court. The kick serve is mostly used as a second serve because of the high safety margin over the net. The combination of spin and high bounce, especially when placed to the backhand side, makes it a difficult serve to attack. When your opponent is serving, it is important to know the correct placement for your return in order to reduce the server's advantage. When returning the serve from the deuce court, a wide serve needs to be returned cross-court. When you return a serve that's not so wide, return the ball either down the line or cross-court. If the serve was placed down the centre, you should return it back down the line. A two-handed backhand player can also return the ball to the deuce court. Returning a wide serve from the ad court usually means hitting the ball cross-court. When returning a serve hit at the centre line, return it to either side of the court. When facing a weak server, stand near the baseline and hit the ball hard. Put the pressure on and earn a few free points by intimidating your opponent into double faults. When the serve has been returned without either player winning the point, you will find yourself in a rally. During a rally, the ball is hit back and forth between players, clearing the net and staying inside the lines. Being consistent and letting your opponent make the mistakes is the easiest way to win. This simple strategy will become even more effective when you play your shots cross-court. It will lessen the distance to each side that your opponent is able to make you run. Correct shot selection makes a player more consistent. It simply means knowing what shot to use from certain positions in the court. Use the drop shot when you are well inside the court. When the ball is low and near the net, don't use power. It's now time for touch and placement. When you're at mid-court and near a sideline, it's a perfect time to make angled shots. When your opponent has pushed you deep, it is unwise to go for a winner. You need to play smart and hit the ball back high over the net. When playing tough opponents, you must move them out of position to win points. This is called working the point and requires the use of all of the skills that you have learned. When in a cross-court baseline rally, create opportunities by hitting the ball wider or by hitting the ball harder. Another option is to change the direction of the ball from cross-court to down the line. The best time to make such a shot is when you play the ball from well inside the sideline. This gives you more space down the line in which to hit the ball. Now, if your opponent hits a weaker shot, you can attack and work the point. To implement an effective game plan against your opponent, you must develop a style of play that maximises your strengths. There are basically two types of players: those that prefer to fight it out from the baseline and those who like to win points from the net. An aggressive baseline player likes to dominate. They stand in closer and take the ball early, hitting it hard into the open court. Their goal is to wear their opponents down both physically and mentally. Their constant, relentless power draws errors and weak returns. A counter-puncher uses their speed, fitness and patience, getting every ball over the net regardless of how long the match lasts. They pass accurately and use the lob effectively. They rarely leave the comfort of the baseline. A net rusher can't wait to get to the net. At the first opportunity, they'll make their way forward, putting tremendous pressure on their opponents. They go to the net after a first or second serve, never giving an opponent a moment to relax. When returning, they employ the chip and charge tactic, which forces their opponent to constantly come up with good passing shots. An all-round player uses any game plan necessary to win. They are competent at all their strokes. They mix and match game styles, always trying to find the opponent's weakness, and when they do, they attack relentlessly. So remember, the serve is your first chance to gain advantage. If your opponent makes a weak serve, be ready to make a strong return. Letting your opponent make mistakes is the easiest way to win. Use good shot selection and keep the ball in play. Every style of play presents a challenge. As a competitor, you must be patient and stay mentally strong. Always remember, impose your style of play onto your opponent, work the point and attack when the opportunity arises. Now it's up to you. You've learnt a wide range of techniques, footwork and strategies, and importantly, how to have fun. So, go and enjoy the game.
Sailing is probably unique among sports because it is so varied in the ways it can be experienced and because it can be enjoyed by just about anyone. This DVD will show you the key skills to get you started and give you the confidence to get out on the water. From the basics of going afloat through to capsize recovery, spinnakers and trapeze sailing, you will see professionals demonstrate the techniques and discover how each manoeuvre is broken down in graphic detail. It won't take you long to master these skills, and you will soon be enjoying the freedom, exhilaration and the sheer pleasure of sailing a boat that's propelled solely by the power of the wind.
Climbing is a demanding sport, yet it is one that offers phenomenal physical and mental rewards. The pleasure of moving over rock, the challenge of the natural environment, and the satisfaction of reaching the top of the climb are as achievable for beginners as they are for the experts. This DVD and accompanying book will help you learn the key skills you need to become adept on the face and climb safely. From basic rope work to advanced grips and holds, you will see professionals demonstrate the techniques and discover how each movement is broken down in graphic detail. Master these skills and you will soon experience the exhilaration and freedom that comes from scaling new heights.
Golf is played and watched by millions of people of all ages around the world, and it's regarded as the one truly global sport. Played competitively or just socially, it can be enjoyed by people of all ages and abilities, and there are few sports which can boast such spectacular surroundings. This DVD and accompanying book will help you learn the basic techniques needed to get started, as well as giving you useful tips and pointers. From driving to bunkers to sinking putts, you'll see top professionals demonstrating the art of the game, with key moments broken down in graphic detail. Once you start to master these skills, you'll soon be shooting lower and lower rounds and really enjoying everything the game of golf has to offer.